guys. So my name is Niki, and I started working with Danica a little bit under a year ago, last March, right when all of the lovely COVID craziness started happening. So I'm here to kind of share my story in hopes that it helps anyone who maybe hasn't made that jump yet to kind of dive into themselves, who's still scared, doesn't know what it looks like or what to expect, isn't quite there yet, who maybe has been thinking about it and just needs that little extra push, because I was in your position at one point. I think a lot of people can say the same, and sometimes you just need to hear those little words to remind you that it's okay to take care of yourself, because that's what it is basically at the end of the day. So to make this short, because I could talk for days about all the work me and Danica have done, and all the amazing things that she's helped me uncover about myself and what I want. But before I started working with her, I had moved from the States, from my hometown, and I moved all the way across the world to Thailand to teach English and to find myself. If you've ever traveled or ever experienced that need to leave an environment, then maybe you can resonate. It's funny that, and I've said this so many times, that I need to find myself, and I left where I was comfortable because I didn't think that I could grow anymore in that environment. I'll go back to that in a minute, but I moved to Thailand. I was in a new country, new experiences, surrounded by a new language, totally thrown out of my comfort zone. And I still found myself searching and couldn't find who I really was, and not really carving the time for myself. I made the move to focus on myself, but I still came over here, quickly found a job, quickly jumped back into the same routine of working and, socializing and working out and all these things that I was doing back home, but it wasn't filling me up in the way that I expected it to, having moved to a new country, because I just fell into the same old routines. So that's kind of where this coaching comes into play. So COVID, it was crazy time, but it also allowed me to slow down, and it allowed me to finally stop all of the things that I felt I needed to do to complete me: work, friends, social life, all the external things. And it finally allowed me to pause and say, okay, these things still aren't filling me up in the way that I need it. What else can I do? And then I came across Danica's page on lovely Instagram, and I immediately reached out, and we had an instant connection over over technology, which I still find amazing and crazy all in the same sentence. And I said, you know what? It's time that I finally put the effort, the energy, the space, the money into myself. Because we can make excuses. I made excuses. I don't have the money for it. I don't have the time for it. Whatever excuses, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And then I was like, wait, pause. This is for my own benefit, for my heart, for my body, for my mind, for my soul. Why have I never paid attention to that? Why have I never given the energy to it? And it was still scary, trust me. I was so nervous because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I'd get anything from it. I didn't know if I was investing this money and it was gonna pay off. I didn't know, but the connection I felt with Danica, I was like, well, it can't go that bad because she's a beautiful soul, and I just felt comfortable to open and explore that realm of diving into myself. So that's why I seeked. That's why I started coaching, intuitive coaching. And let me just tell you, the first session we had, it still gives me goosebumps thinking about it. I walked away. I remember getting off the phone with her, and I sat in my apartment for I think like 30 minutes just sitting on the floor. And I was like, what the hell just happened? What just happened to me? Like, it was one of the most crazy feelings in here. And I left that conversation feeling so empowered, feeling so inspired, feeling so motivated, feeling so complete. Like, crazy. And you'll experience it. So each call after, I was excited. I was excited to dive inward, to really uncover all these parts of myself that I went to different places to search for, that because of coaching, realized like they were always here. They're always here within me. And I think a lot of the times we get wrapped up in the chaos of life and our responsibilities and our relationships, and it defines us. But we forget that everything in here is what really defines us. And so that was a really big moment for me, understanding that it's not the external factors that play into who I am. It adds to it, but this is where I am. This is who I am. But you have to search for it. Wrong words. You have to search for it within. It's not out there. And that was a big thing I learned. Also, so many practices, so many tools in my little toolbox that I now have. Honestly, I could list like a million of them that we went through together that she taught me. But a few ones that I really use like often throughout, anytime I'm feeling anxious, anytime I'm feeling stuck in a decision where I don't know the right decision for me, I use, anytime I'm feeling down, I use these. So the first one, self-love visualization. This is a really big one for me to remember and remind myself that I am important, that it is okay to take care of myself first. And for me, visualization is a beautiful way to remind myself that. And so just sitting with me and asking myself, closing my eyes, visualizing in my head, like, where am I hurting in my body? What parts of me do I feel need attention? And then sometimes it's as little as just like giving myself a hug. And I watch myself give myself a hug. And it sounds weird, but it works. And then you walk away being like, oh, thanks. Thank you for the hug. I didn't know I needed that. And it's made me feel so much better. This tool I use for literally everything when I don't know what to do. And I'm in a decision where I've outweighed pros and cons, or I just like feel it in my body, but my mind is running with all these other things that I'm listening to. And I know that's a big one for a lot of people. So I've learned to listen to my body, and so far in the past year that I've been using it, it's led me to great things. And that's just listening to your body. Your body always knows. You always get that feeling in your gut, but I feel like our minds kind of play tricks on us and tell us other things. And this exercise called Body is a Pendulum, it's just paying attention and being aware of your body, the energy that it's pulling you towards, directions that it's pulling you towards. And I've used it to decide where I wanted to live, and now I'm in this beautiful house in Chiang Mai that I just absolutely feel so creative and so inspired in this space. I've used it for dating. If I not sure if a guy is the one or the fit for me, I will ask my body, is this the person that you see yourself with? Is this the person you feel most yourself with? And it's hasn't led me to a boyfriend yet, but it's coming. It's coming, and I'm trusting myself. I'm trusting my decisions, and letting that lead me to what else is out there that I know is waiting for me. Guidance that I carry with me. There's so many things that we've in our sessions. So many things that I've left our session and I've journaled about it. I have always carry with me. I think the biggest one, because there's so many and I won't go into all of them, but the biggest one is releasing the guilt that held me, and it still does. I think it is always a work in progress, but releasing the guilt in any situation, releasing the guilt, releasing the expectations, releasing the control. They all go together. And understanding that it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to create those boundaries to take care of you, to make sure that your needs, your wants are met first before going out into the world, into the relationships. That was a big thing for me to let go of, because I love control. I loved to plan. I loved to have these expectations, and it didn't help. It didn't work. And so releasing all of that, it made me feel so much lighter. And it made me go into my relationships with friends, with family, lighter. Not carrying all of my baggage and portraying that onto them. Letting go of my baggage of guilt and being able to breathe again and understand that I'm at peace with myself. I'm at peace with where I'm at. I'm okay with it all, because I'm sure, as a lot of us have seen this year, like, you can control and you can try to control all you want, but sometimes life just has a completely different plan for you. And so letting go of those expectations helped me be more present, and be more accepting of myself, more compassionate towards myself, which then, like, shown outward, being more compassionate with others in my relationships, and the people that came into my life. So since coaching, I will say that it definitely changed my life. I know that sounds cliche, but it really did. I won't lie about that. It definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things about me. I was always a perfectionist growing up, and I was able to let that go. It's helped me, like I said, be more present, and really just appreciate the things, the people, where I'm at in life, and not hold myself to this timeline or other people's expectations of me, and not letting that control my decisions or my thoughts or my feelings about things. I'm really starting to trust myself, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful feeling to not question who you are, not question if you're making the right decisions, not question if you're going down the right path. Obviously, it comes up. It's how our society is, I feel like, and our culture that we live in nowadays. But it's helped me release so much of these things that I felt like I needed to be, and it's helped me look inward and understand that everything that is already here is beautiful. It's perfect just the way it is. There's no need to change it. And it's definitely helped me feel more connected to myself and what was already here. It's helped me stop looking for myself in everything else around me, and from parents and childhood dynamic part of your relationship, who you were in that sense, who you are from at work. Like, it let me let go of all of that. It let me release it. I'm not attached to them. Like, who I am is here. I've been able to really be more consistent in self-love practices like meditation and yoga. That's how I connect to myself. Dancing, like, every time I feel anxious, I just get up and dance. I literally was just dancing like an hour ago on my balcony, and my neighbors were like, cool, she does that a lot. And I'm like, hey, yes I do. That's my way of, like, releasing these feelings that I used to hold on to, and I wouldn't let myself process, or I wouldn't let myself feel all of these emotions I was feeling. I would stop and I would say, nope, I don't want to feel sad, so I'm just going to push it down. and that just made me more sad. Or this is a fun moment, but I'm not gonna let myself have too much fun because then it could crash and burn. No, now I'm just gonna let myself enjoy the moment. So anytime I'm feeling down or upset, I dance, and I let all the emotion that's there come out in that sense in dancing. That has helped me allow those emotions to be there, to sit with them, to process them, and that's helped me a lot, like a lot. So many goals, like I'm still working towards a lot of them. I will always be working towards all of them. I think that's just how we are as humans. But to wrap this up, take the leap. Take the leap and trust in where you want to go, because it's just as important as working out. It's just as important as drinking enough water. It's just important as all of these other external things. It's you, it's your mind, it's your body, it's your soul that also needs the love and the attention and the energy. Because if you remove all the external things, what's left? Do you know? Do you look into it? Do you follow it? Because it's all there. It's all there for you. So thank you. Honestly, Danica, I tell her all the time, but from the bottom of my heart, I am so thankful and so appreciative of all the work that she's helped me get through. And I hope that you guys can feel the same. Bye-bye.